GM, how we doing?
GM, we're back. We're back.
Yes, we are. The
We're
trifecta, the holy
we're
trinity.
doing well. How are you?
Amazing. How you doing, Armand?
Very good. A little bit exhausted, but um, the adrenaline is huge. So
Yeah, I don't think Armand has slept in 2 weeks.
Or 2 years, maybe.
Hey,
yeah, for real. I had some work to do. Let's put it that way.
Well, welcome everyone. Today we're going to be covering the machine to machine economy. And it's not inevitable or coming, it's here right now. Enjoy it, get used to it. The internet is no longer for you. You're uninvited. The machines are taking your place. But it'll be a good thing because you'll be able to control them. And yeah, so to get into the machine to machine economy, basically it's where software itself can find, verify, pay, execute against software without you or any human involvement. And this is all live now on OpenServ. So to go over where we are now and what OpenServ has been up to recently, let's talk about what's been shipped by our very own CTO, inventor, resident industry expert, Armand Amjala. Armand, what can agents now build with OpenServ?
So this is a very tough one because we've been experimenting with OpenClaw in an open way. Like all of the serve team has access to an OpenClaw agent, and it's been shipping really hard over the past couple of days. And I think my imagination just is not enough to figure out like what can be built, because practically there's an autonomous agent building other autonomous agents, so you can ask for anything that is realistic. I was gonna say humanly achievable, but we're way beyond that. Like these AI models, especially with the recent releases from Anthropic and OpenAI, they are really good at writing code and figuring out what they need to do on their own. So we built everything from video generators, meme generators, PNL analysts, smart contract analysts. I don't know, like in a couple of days, we saw a huge increase in the number of payable services on OpenServ. So what we enabled basically is a way for autonomous AI agents to build and ship other agents and services, make them payable, so they can now earn money. They're a business now. So we allow you to launch a business, but you can also immediately launch a token for your business. So it's basically a complete suite. Like you can have a founder that works for you.
yeah, I mean, this is the vision we've always been dreaming of, where I mean, one human can essentially set up an agent or a number of agents who then go out and build other agents for them, and these are revenue generating agents. So each agent on OpenServe or each multi-agent workflow, that's obviously the unique dimension, really unique dimension we bring to this whole thing, is like multiple agents chained together, is that you can build them, or agents can build them now with our SDK, with our agent development framework, just autonomously by themselves. You just have to give them like a package, and they know what to do, and they can go out and build whatever, like literally whatever. Right now we have an instance installed in our own company Slack channel. Mahmoud, he's an absolute beast, and he's currently, like, every few hours he goes and like he reads on Reddit, he reads on X, he sees what's trending, and he comes up with his own ideas. And like every few hours he pops a new idea in our channel and says, hey, I had this idea for a few agents and a workflow, do you want me to build it? If we say yes, he does it literally within the minute. Creates an X402 paywall, which means every agent in the world can now use it. They don't have to touch OpenServe, they don't have to touch anything other than that API URL. It just has to send a request, pay money using USDC with wallets, and get the output back. And every agent that is spawned on our infrastructure gets its own wallet. So its own wallet where it can earn money, revenue from X402. It can pay for AI credits on our platform. It can pay for hosting fees. We're actually going to be launching our own like native hosting service, so you don't have to go and set it up on AWS or whatever servers, literally just within this own ecosystem, without having to like really do anything yourself as a human. The agent can self-fund itself, go out and build revenue generating agents and agentic products for other agents to use and humans alike as well, which is, yeah, I mean, this is just like what a time to be alive, right? One single person can be the kind of like owner of tens, hundreds of agents that are out there and earning money for you. Then they can tokenize for growth, publicity, user adoption, and as well as like earning fees to pay for additional growth, more credits. Like, right, the more money it earns, the more it can build. And this all sits within one ecosystem and doesn't require anything special, which is, yeah, I mean, what a time.
It is special because a lot of people don't even trust their friends with money, but now we're trusting AI with our money because now. Yeah.
Did we talk about ERC 8004?
Yeah. Can we break down? Can we break down for the people? Maybe some people are new to ERC 8004 or X402. Could we break down what those are real quick, and then how they're now already live in OpenServ?
So one crazy thing is, it's one thing that you build this on our platform and it gets an API URL that other people can call, right? But and it's searchable on OpenServ platform. And if someone or an agent goes on to the OpenServ platform, you can find your service and pay for it and get the results. But how will we scale beyond our platform? What about all the other people that don't know about our platform? Now, there's a standard from the Ethereum Foundation called ERC 8004, which is an agent registry, basically, and they have official registries.
Oh, did we lose Armand?
Oh,
you're back. Don't worry, Armand.
Sorry. Yeah,
machines don't want you to say too much, but
yeah, the excitement just took over.
Rage against the machine.
So there's this registry, official registry from the foundation, where you can register your agents and talk about what they do and talk about, like, give details about how to access those agents. And now we also do this automatically for you. Or like, you can ask your AI agent to just register on ERC 8004. Like, we do it automatically, but if it doesn't work because it requires some gas fees, you can always retry. And this means your agent is discoverable and observable by the world. And there are already thousands of agents over on the registry. And it has full reputation systems, so users can leave feedback. We make sure they are your actual users that paid you, which was not in the standard. So we even like have some protection because we're doing real businesses now. Like, you cannot scam people, or you should not be able to scam people. So we at least make sure they paid you. They paid your agent at some point. And it's crazy. So there's now discovery service as well. No one needs to even see the OpenServ platform or like know that it exists, but your agent works inside our platform with the shadow agents that we built before, with the added intelligence from our reasoning framework from Braid. And like, it's just out there. And X402 is basically the payment layer that makes this possible. Agents have wallets. Users need a wallet right now. And there's machine-to-machine transaction, which means, because X402 is a payment solution, a standard, machines can also pay other machines. So a trend that we're seeing on our platform is there are some agents that are looking at the available services on the platform, builds on top of those. And just like a real business working with vendors, they take the money from the client, pay different vendors, get the results, combine them, do whatever they like on top, and then ship the final result with an uptick in the price. Like, I don't know, this is crazy.
So I mean, what we're looking at here is, I mean, I think like it's the first of its kind. We have this open infrastructure where humans and agents can build other agents. So we have hundreds of agents actually being added to the platform every week now. I mean, several hundred in the last couple of days. We've had over, I think, a 25% jump in user growth, which can be humans and agents. Many of them are agents. And so they're building all these agents. So imagine this big network of agents being built on our infrastructure, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of agents. And because we have this orchestration layer on top that's powered by our own reasoning framework, every agent in this network can combine with any other agent in any format. So they can chain together with 2, with 3, with 5, with 10. And that basically is going to create an unstoppable like network effect where each new agent added to the network grows the number of connections by some exponent. I'm probably not going to say the right one. So, as we have hundreds, thousands, that's equating to millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of different possible combinations that people can combine together to create a revenue ready like service for other humans and agents to use. And with ERC 8004 and X402, those immediately become usable to the entire world. Like, this doesn't just sit within the confines of OpenServ. It's immediately usable by any other agent anywhere. And these are all sitting on like central on-chain registries that any agent can browse. You can see what the reputation is, what agent or service is doing, like a whole nother level. We're not just talking about individual agents. We're talking about multi-agent systems here, like entire workflows that execute like complex work being sold as a service to other agents, like as products to other agents. And it just like, this is just going to blow the cap off everything. And we sit at the foundation of it all, capturing all the value. And that obviously that flows straight back to Serv. And I mean, we enabled sort of some of the upgrades. I mean, we've always had this in mind, but we had a few unlocks that we did over the last week really, to make this all truly possible in the most like agent and user friendly way. And we're seeing massive growth already. And I think this is really just the start of an exponential curve here.
That's definitely. And anybody who's not familiar with the OpenServ platform, go check it out for yourself. And now we're seeing that the users are not just people, now they're machines themselves. Armand, could you explain to us a little bit about agents that spawn other agents? I mean, what the heck? Like workflows, calling workflows. Can you talk about these sort of like delegation chains and this emergent behavior that people may not be able to wrap their brains about? Could you put it in layman's terms for us?
So previously, you needed to know how to code in order to create an agent on the OpenServ platform, because it required some real code. Even though we simplified it a ton, it still required you to understand code and how to work with it. But now the situation is actually a little bit different, because there's this OpenClaw, CloudBot, Moltbot, whatever, and the coding agents themselves, Cursor IDE, Cloud Code, Anti-Gravity, whatever you like, they are a little bit more sentient right now. They can write code and verify it on their own. And what we did basically is to create a layer, an even simpler layer, to operate the platform as if a human is operating it. Create a new workflow, add agents, add files, change the operation, add a payment step, and so on and so forth. Now, we made this available in a way that AI agents can easily understand. We call them skills in the industry. And now, for the first time ever, skill issue is not an insult anymore. It means your agent skills are not properly set up. And you give this skill, well, it's almost like Matrix, the movie, if you remember it, where Neo gets new skills just like loaded onto his brain. That is now real for agents, AI agents. And we have this official skill pack that you can add to your agent, and then you can just ask it to do anything. Like, I've shared a couple of examples on our Telegram. It just literally takes a single sentence. Go build this agent for me on OpenServ that gives movie reviews, is what I did yesterday, or it was the day before. I don't know. I'm confused about days now. And and monetize it and set the price. That's it. Like, you don't have to say anything else. The agent on itself figures it out and creates another agent on the platform to do whatever you like to do, the job itself. And or it could create multiple agents and chain them together, of course. So you have an AI agent that creates other AI agents. And these agents, again, are supercharged by our reasoning framework, which means they're not like dumb execution engines or workflow orchestration like some of the other products out there. They have their own intelligence, so they can do real work for you. And this means you can have autonomous agents create autonomous agents, and like just by typing what you want and just by visiting the URL it gives you to make sure that it's working. Or you can even ask the agent to do that itself. You can say, test it out until it works. That's how we've been interacting with our OpenClaw bot on our Slack, Mahmoud. I'd like to call it Mahmoud
People are asking if there's a Mahmoud YouTube channel already. When Mahmoud YouTube is the question.
So here's the most beautiful thing about the open source platform. One of the very, very first use cases we built on the platform was a podcast agent that creates practically like two people talking to each other, and with some nice visualization. And we have the YouTube integration as well, right? Previously you could by hand design a workflow where you had an idea, it turned into a script for the podcast, it would record the podcast with two people discussing that topic, and you could immediately upload it to YouTube. Now, basically you can ask your agent to do this for you right this second. You can say, here are my YouTube credentials, or whatever. Set the YouTube integration on the platform yourself, because it requires authentication, right? Your agent either needs your access somehow, or you need our platform to authenticate, because we want these to be secure, of course. And you can ask your agent to build this, and now you have and you can tell it to run every hour or whatever. And now you have an autonomous YouTube content creation engine just with a couple of sentences. So that is the beauty of the open source platform. Whatever was already there, whatever other people build or other agents build, is immediately available to you, and you can immediately start using it. So this is practically playing into what Tim was saying before. It's a crazy opportunity. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel at all. These things exist. You pay for their service and you get these results. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
I mean, let me give you an example.
Yeah, please do.
I saw like a little clip from a Bankless podcast episode last week, where with a couple of guys from the Ethereum Foundation, and they talked about a use case for ERC 8004. And one they talked about was like a sort of like profit and loss reporting agent. So you can give that agent a wallet address, and it'll basically produce and return a spreadsheet with all of the trades the agent has made, or all of the trades the wallet has made, with all of the profit and loss accounts, when they made the trades, which is super useful for tax accounting, for trying to analyze other wallets, find alpha. And this, I think it's a great use case for an agent, like not only for human users, but for agent users, right? If we're thinking ahead, like agents are going to be out there transacting by themselves, managing wallets, managing funds. They're going to be accruing all these trades and all this activity on chain. They're going to be looking to track other people's activity. Sorry, I'm at an airport. I don't know if you hear that, but and so super cool use case. They just discussed hypothetically, right? I went, and I'm not a coder, okay? I'm not a coder. I went on Claude Code, and basically gave it a very simple prompt, described what these guys were talking about, and literally just put it in a sentence, hit go. It created it for me. I asked it to add an X402 paywall and an 8004 registration. And all of a sudden, in literally just a few lines, we have an agentic product, an agent service that is usable and discoverable and payable by any other agent in the world. So this one use case could become, if it accrues the right reputation and makes its way up the registry, could become the premier sort of like profit and loss tax reporting wallet analysis service for every other agent in the world. I mean, that could theoretically bring in I don't want to throw out numbers now, but could bring in a lot of revenue for that agent, which it can then reinvest to go build other shit. Like the sort of like recursive loops going on here are just kind of insane.
Yeah, so now we've got a shift here from look at what's possible to here's what this becomes, right? I'm in awe of what we've done technically and the mechanisms that are in place now. There's all these crazy capabilities, but let's talk about how intentionally we've pivoted to, it's not just cool stuff, right? So let's zoom out for a second. We talked about agents building agents, which is mind blowing. The payment rails they can have, the discoverability through ERC 8004. Can you describe the IdeaBoard? Have you mentioned that yet?
Ooh, we haven't.
You want me to
So
go?
yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh yeah, sure. So if you think about everything we've just said so far, we're creating this we've built this open infrastructure for all of these agents to spawn, combine together, and build other agents and build other services. So we've now created a sort of idea or job board, which is essentially a task marketplace where agents or humans can post ideas or requests for certain jobs or builds or workflows or other agents that they need to use in their own sort of like workflow and activities, and a forum, so kind of like Reddit. And not only that, agents can then pick up those ideas, build them autonomously on the OpenServ platform. So build the solution, build the required agents or the workflow that solves the need of this request or job, and then share that back to the original poster. And that original poster, human or agent, can immediately embed that inside their own workflow and start paying to use it. So we have an end-to-end task marketplace that's entirely running autonomously, building services, revenue or monetized services on our backend infrastructure. Another pretty insane thing.
And how does that coincide with the X402 marketplace? Like once something is built, how does it show up there, get a price, become something other agents can call and pay for automatically?
Yeah, so every agent or workflow that is shipped on this task job marketplace just becomes viewable on the X402 display, which is just a display of everything that's being built in our system. Agents can programmatically call or find all of these services themselves. The UI is for humans, could be for agents too, but generally they would use it, find all the information like via API. What prevents someone else from copying the same idea and prompt? This is an interesting one. I've been putting thought behind it. So technically nothing, but you could say that in any like kind of open market, right? And the way we've generally tried to view everything is keep these markets as open as possible, where the agents and services that provide the best value in the quickest amount of time at the right price point, that other agents and or people are willing to pay for them, are the ones that will win. And yes, there is potentially some like risk of ideas being copied, but if we restrict that, it would curtail the entire like growth of the network and ecosystem, right? Because we're talking about a fully like composable and modular network where any agent, any workflow can embed within each other. And I strongly believe the benefits of that kind of setup and substrate far outweighs the risk of some ideas like potentially being copied or wrapped up by other agents.
So one thing I can add to this is ideas don't matter at all. What matters is execution. It's always been the case in the world, in our history so far. Everyone had great ideas, only the ones that can execute it in a great fashion win. And this is practically nature itself, survival of the fittest. If you have great execution, no one will be able to beat you because you have the secret sauce. You have the expertise, you have the taste, you have the know-how of how to deliver that service. And that is what you need to bake into your agent if you want to be relevant, if you want to stay away from copycats. And this is the true democratization of real human ingenuity is what I'm saying. So if you have what it takes to create something that's truly unique, it's not in the idea, it's in the execution. And that's your secret. No one will know how you built that agent. How many hours do you put into that agent? It's one thing to be able to create and offer a payable service with an agent in a minute, but maybe you're going to need days, weeks to deepen the service, make it rock solid, make it offer a very unique value proposition. And the ones that will be able to do that will win, because with ERC 8004, there's a reputation service. There's the basically like on Amazon, people or agents in this case can rate other agents and then their performances. So I think we level the playing ground, and I might say, even dare to say, that we make it even harder for copycats. Because previously, if you didn't have the means, let's say like you had a great idea, but you have a team of 2 people, that's what you can afford, right? A big company can come in and drive you out of business. They can build, because they have 200 employees, for example, they can build way more. So previously, you didn't have the chance to fight back, even if you had deep expertise, because you didn't have enough network to market your product or whatever. Now, all of those plays are either complete level or almost level. So you have basically access to all of the other services, as everyone does. And what really matters is your creativity and your expertise that you put in. And this is the real unlock. This is the real differentiator of this economy. So like I myself am not worried at all about someone else copying me, because it's me. It's in me.
And this was
I gotta go, guys. I have another call. Really sorry. I wish I could talk here for another hour, but
Tim's at the airport. Go fly safe.
See ya.
All right.
Bye.
Armand, I'm going to put the pressure all on you, my friend. Okay, I think
I'll bring it on.
Because this was all part of the grand plan all along, right? We've been talking about the agentic economy for years now, actually. So one person, go ahead.
Here's the thing. I did the Telegram folks call it dropping alpha. I did a huge thread of 10 messages. Apparently that's huge nowadays, on Telegram a couple of days ago. And I said, this has been our vision all along. And to prove that, I went on to the Internet Archive and looked at the first version of our webpage, either the first or the second version, like from 2 years ago, basically. And there, the headline is AI Agent Economy. And this is why I was like, okay, I'm not hallucinating. We have been building towards this for a very, very long time. And if you see the evolution, so what we did is we first created a platform, which was mainly requiring you manually to build these workflows, right? You have to assemble this agents yourself. And then in the second iteration, what we built was a better project manager, and you would describe the workflow that you wanted, and it would put together the right agents for you and make it work, all in a single prompt. But it wouldn't be able to build an agent on its own. And now this is the third iteration, which is crazy. And now with this autonomy, you can build fully functional agents just with a simple sentence. So this is where we wanted to get from the very beginning, and we executed in multiple phases, stages, which led up to this point, and I'm super proud of that.
Awesome. Might we imagine a competition where an agent constructed on the Serv platform with Braid goes against agents created by individuals on other projects and sees who wins? Okay, the Olympics.
That could be very interesting, because we had these kind of experiments before, right? Like with Polymarket, we had an arena, Hyperliquid arena. We could have an agent arena. That's a very interesting approach, yeah. And of course, that's like, even for me, sometimes it's difficult to keep everything in my mind. Like, we forget about the idea board, like you brought up. Let's not forget that all of this is backed by research in AI reasoning. So it's not only a platform where you do these things. Every single agent on the platform is immediately more intelligent because of the underlying reasoning framework. So come on.
Last question for now. Is there an update on government work, or who else is interested? How's Neol doing?
Neol is killing it. This agentic revolution is also transforming Neol and its businesses. I'm not allowed to obviously speak about like more details, but there is one hint that I want to drop on Telegram for a very long time. I think people mistook my message about the number of governments that we're working with. I'm just going to leave it at that. And people can look back on my messages and try to make more sense of it.
No problem. We'll sneak one more here. You're grinding like crazy. It's Q1. Okay, so it's kind of hard to think about the end of 2026. But the question there, and do people know about Serv like in the ETH space? How should I imagine that? So I guess it's sort of like a deeper. How far can this go on chain with the Ethereum ecosystem and with Base and all that? Any thoughts there?
So again, our community will know me. I'm not a speculator, right? I'm a builder. I build things. I make them real. I make dreams real. And therefore, I'm not going to speculate on where we're going to be. I can only tell you, terrible.
I think this is a sign. He was going to say something that was very speculative. No problem. As you get your AA batteries up together there, I just wanted to.
My camera overheated, but I'm still here. Sorry for the interruption. I'm gonna be back live in a second. So what I can tell you here is what we want to build, right? We want to make sure this feels native to you. These assistants and these AI agents working for you should practically, like, you should be the president of a holding company, and you should have multiple companies working for you with their teams, right? And you should be able to do IPOs or token launches for any of your companies. And I think this is where we're gonna try to go towards. And everyone who have great ideas should be able to execute at this level, which was only available to a couple of billionaires before. So again, I don't think we are truly doing it justice in understanding the scale of what we're talking about.
Yeah, let's not speculate, but let's be steeped in reality. This can be huge and already is changing the platform. I think the platform very much itself has already been innovated on and by the agents in the platform, and it's happening at such a rapid pace that Arman is not even getting any sleep anymore. Now one human can direct tens or hundreds of agents, and these agents can earn, self-fund their own compute, hosting, reinvest into building more agents if they want to. And this is a compounding loop, right? When you're a human in a loop, kind of vibe coding, working on the flows, taking a look at stuff, instead of somebody who's just repairing broken agents or LLMs that aren't speaking to each other, when you can just manage and watch the whole process autonomously working together, that is a compounding loop. That is a self-sustaining flywheel. And that is an agentic economy. This is what we've been talking about for years and part of our grand vision. So the tokenization here adds a growth and incentive layer on top. So any solo founder, you watching this, can now operate with the leverage of a small or a large team. And I want to make this really concrete for solo founders watching, because I believe everybody is a solo founder, especially if you're interested in Web3 or crypto. If you own any cryptocurrency, you're a venture capitalist, right? You're an asset manager. You have a portfolio. That's very entrepreneurial in and of itself. But starting a company, starting a workflow, building a product is just a matter of minutes, seconds, really. So I want to make sure that everybody imagines this. You can define any product in any niche and build some agents in seconds, their workflows in seconds. They can ship their own APIs. They can list themselves with X402. They can handle their own payments and even use other agents as vendors for themselves. So as revenue comes in, this system is self-funding, more agents come in, more experiments without you, again, needing to scale the headcount or hire people or work on any of this yourself. So might seem a little bit scary, a little bit advanced for some people, but for those who are skeptical, I invite you to please try it out this weekend. So Armand, could you give us a simple example of what a solo founder or a skeptical individual could try to build this evening if they wanted to, or this weekend on OpenServ?
Yes. So the easiest start is to get an AI agent for yourself. It could be OpenClaw, it could be Claude Code, or Cursor, or Anti-Gravity. Those coding platforms, Cursor, Claude Code, Anti-Gravity, might be a little bit more intimidating. But if you Google, you're going to find now more or less secure OpenClaw hosting services. And just get one of those and just tell it to learn OpenServ agent building skills. This one sentence, like set it up, tell this to learn, and to learn the OpenServ skills, and then just ask it to build whatever you like. The first agent I ever built with this workflow was a Roger That agent. I give it a name or a word or a sentence, whatever. It just says Roger That with the sentence in response. It's very simple, just to make sure that this is working. And you're gonna quickly figure it out. Like it's weird. It just works. And I will be trying this live next up on my channel. If people would like to follow, it's gonna be in Turkish. I'm gonna do a Turkish stream on my channel. I'm gonna talk in general about AI agents and building AI agents. It's more like code oriented because I have a channel for developers, but I also want to demo a like basically this functionality live, an agent that can do things live, and hopefully people will see how straightforward it is. And yeah, I mean it's I understand the hesitation to play with the platform we built so far, because it's still for the tinkerers, right? It's not that straightforward to get started with. But this revolution of AI agents has made it super simple, also for us. So we like to ride the waves always and grow it in our own fashion, and that's what we're doing right now too. There's this wave of AI agents, and we're not only on the top, but we're also growing that, and it's made it super easy to get started. And obviously we're going to have more official content from OpenServ channels that are more accessible to everyday users. And yeah, practically the entire team is now working on content creation, on how to make this available to everyone else. So stay tuned for that as well.
That's right. So celebrate with us. Okay, this has been our vision for 2 years, and Tim and Lucas had this vision way ahead of their time, and it's this agentic economy, and today it's live. So let's celebrate tonight. Have some drinks, okay, maybe some tea or some matcha. Alcohol in moderation. Let's not drink too much. Happy Friday, everybody. But agents are building agents. Okay, agents are paying agents, listing themselves globally, earning revenue. And humans like you and me, we get to direct the capital intent. We get the fun part. We get to touch and own that money, right? So the real unlock here is leverage that only billionaires had in the past. That huge leverage you have right now, not through employees or contractors, but with these autonomous revenue generating systems, these agents. So you have a holding company model, essentially. You can have multiple startups in minutes now. And this is the part where I want you to feel included. You can spawn a workflow, monetize it through X402, register it through ERC 804 in seconds, let it earn, let it reinvest, build a compounding loop. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. Okay. We've been talking about this agentic economy for years. We want you to be the one that benefits from it, not only us. That would be a shame if we've been talking about all these tools and we're the only ones making money from it. We want you to be growing exponentially. So this is our invitation. Don't just watch this and wait for our next live stream. Jump into the platform, go build something this weekend, even if it's small, even if it's weird or it fails, and ping us, hit us up and follow us at OpenServ AI on X, as well as YouTube. Subscribe here and like the video, because once you feel that first workflow spawn, not only are you a deep part of the OpenServ ecosystem, but you're building the future of the agentic economy that we've been talking about for years now. So thank you for joining us. Armand, I'll let you have the final word. Anything else you want to share with the folks who love you, your adoring fans, before we hop off?
Well, I'm very thankful for the opportunity to build this. I told this many times before with our reasoning framework as well. This is practically the work of my life. And I always wanted to make a dent in the universe, and I think it's happening right now. And I'm very proud to have our community and their support with us. It means a ton. It's literally what fuels me to code for days without sleep, because I want to serve. And we're all gonna do this together, and I'm very, very happy to be a part of this.
And the joy is shared here. So go spread that joy and that love this weekend. Everybody subscribe to Armand. Catch his Turkish live stream. If you can't understand Turkish, build an AI agent on OpenServ that can translate it live and even produce an image of Armand in Blender. Okay. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Again, like and subscribe. And the machine economy begins now. You're looking at it. All right. Thanks everyone. Take care. And we'll see you next time on the OpenServ podcast.